We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We slaying witches and demons, making a list like I'm Steven. This ain't the Garden of Eden. Playing this game, it's not even.
What's up, Beaches? Happy Sunday. Happy.
That you speaking. All of y'all live for the weekend.
Sunday Funday
Q&Anus. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. She rocking the two-piece and look like a snack. Stay out of trouble, but I got a new scheme. I'm sipping on wine while they sipping on that. I done told y'all if I see.
We'll get started in just a minute here, so come on in. Drop what you trained today. Did you pump? Did you get your pump on? You excited for Game of Thrones? What's going on? What's going on? How's the Sunday going?
Young and jaded like an adolescent. I'm slightly faded like an evanescent. Brand new villa up on the East Coast. You better come through because we stay progressing. If you roll with us, you better unpack before God teaches you an eternal lesson. Roll with me, you're gonna learn something. Roll with me, you're gonna earn some. We in the forest like we Fern Gully. If it's filling off, I discern some. Clean hearts, but we stay muddy. Too smart, but we stay study. Staying face cause we too ugly. All these jokers think they too funny. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing.
Alright, yeah, that's right.
Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack.
Swole.
I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We slaying witches and demons.
Yeah. Black screen. Yeah. Super heat. No worries. We're just chilling here. Ooh. I'm just fucking with you. It's so scary. It's night time. Night time is the right time.
The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. The bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1108 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is going on, beaches? What is going on, yas booshes? Welcome everyone on Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, and the Twitch. We are doing massive Q&Anus today. It is ya boys. So a couple new things that have been going down. First off, it is the series finale of Game of Thrones. Exciting. Finally, we're putting this dog out of its fucking misery. Unfortunately, what a freaking train wreck this has been. What a train wreck. And I am preparing myself for further disappointment tonight. I am preparing myself emotionally for just utter disappointment. So I think people are going to generally like this episode because everyone's expecting such fucking just abysmal writing. Everyone is so depressed. It's going to be such a group hate watch. Millions of people are just going to hate watch this episode. Just complete. Someone asked me on the DM, they asked me if I thought that George R.R. Martin was pissed about this whole thing. And I don't think he needs to be pissed because so many people are going to be upset with the ending of the show. They're going to go and buy and read all of his books so they get the good ending. They get the real ending because he's going to write it like a fucking beast. So I am super stoked to go through and actually probably read that book. That way I get the ending that was intended, not what was Hollywood or was convenient. Lazy, short, abrupt, and I see both sides. I see people that are talking about it being not being expected or being expected in terms of character arc for Daenerys's character, but I think it was just too fast. I think they needed 10 episodes to hash everything out. It's a big story. There's a lot of people. There are a lot of moving parts. You can't just wrap that shit up fucking quickly. Last 2 seasons have just been really shortened and compressed. It's insulting. Why do you think you need less than 10 episodes? All of a sudden, every other season needs more, and this one we'll just pack it into a couple. No good, man. Especially because they took extra time to make less episodes and to make a less quality of a show. It's fucking depressing. Anyway, what's going on? What's up, Facebook? I see Joe Smith. Yo, Papa. What up? What's up? That's a few minutes ago. Where are my pictures at? Vikings was drawn out too. At least that was historical. Vikings sucked after Ragnar was gone. After he left, it was like, all right, fine. All right, we'll continue going with this show. I guess history goes on. We'll keep this going. It was all right. It was okay. Are they still making another season? Are they still going with that? Because I finished it recently. It was kind of like, if I get deep into a show, if I ever do, because I rarely watch TV, I rarely watch movies. So when I watch something, if it's a series and I get into it, I like to see it end. I like to see it to completion. Even if it sucks or I don't like it that much, I watch it through. I follow through with it. So that's my thing. So even if I it's not that great or I'm not really pleased with it, I'll finish it up. I'll take it to the end. Completion. Welcome live. I think the chat's a little bit slow. I think we're a little bit delayed on the chat. So this is the Sunday Funday Q&A. So if you have questions, you can ask them. I'm not creating content today. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. We'll shoot the shit. I'll answer questions about nutrition, training, whatever you want to talk about. Just drop them in the comments below, and we'll see if they start coming through. So a lot of you like it. A lot of you like the Sunday Funday Q&A, and then you show up and don't ask any fucking questions, so you're not going to have anything. Let's see. I couldn't watch after Ragnar died. Hey, we're past the intros. Ask your questions, or we're going to bounce out of here. I got things to do. You don't got questions? I'll take a couple from Instagram. And then if you guys... Hot tubs and saunas, can we talk pros and cons? I love saunas. I don't do hot tubs. Heat's good. Heat and cold is good for your body. It's good to take your body through those ranges. Saunas are great. I do it every day. Tips for staying on your diet during vacation. You do or you don't. What do you mean tips? What do you mean tips? These things are vague. Tips. Everyone wants a tip. What's a good tip to staying on your on your nutrition? Eat the food that you should be eating or don't. Either you bring it with you or you don't, or you go shopping or you don't, or you order food that you should be eating or you don't. You can figure that out on your own. You could figure that on your own. It depends on what kind of vacation. I'm busting chops, but it depends on where are you traveling abroad, or are you driving? Are you going to be in the car? It depends on what type of vacation, how long, what kind of trip, and what the purpose is, and what your goals are, and what you're trying to do. And I think there's more. It's not just as simple, a vacation. You could have a day vacation. A day off is a day vacation. Obviously, you don't have to plan too much, but it depends on what your goals are, and depends on what the dynamics of that vacation are. Because sometimes you have the ability to bring more food. If you're traveling in the car, you could bring a cooler. You could bring pre-made food. If you're traveling on a plane, you could still bring food, but obviously you might be bringing in different quantities or a different type of food. If you're backpacking or hiking, it depends what you're doing. Hot yoga is great. Considering an elimination diet process, how does one get started? Check out the Gain Train blog. I break it down for you. Latest article on swolenormousx.com on the blog. And I have I shouldn't say hundreds, but I have tons of episodes about the elimination diet and YouTube videos. But there's the latest blog from yesterday, day before, is about the elimination. And we also do it inside swolenormousx. So if you need more guidance, you want to add it to our training programs and stuff like that, you could check out memberships and stuff on swolenormousx.com. But go to swolenormousx.com, click on Gain Train blog in the main menu, and check out the latest article. It's about the elimination diet. What's a good cardio with a broken ankle? Don't do cardio. Why are you trying to do cardio with a broken ankle? You can just do yoga and stretching and stuff that takes you off your feet. You can go swimming if cardio is that important to you while you heal. Do I have a preference on bar placement for a squat? I generally like a lower bar back squat because it's more secure and it puts less torque on your lower back. You can really drive with the glutes and drive with the hips more. You need more flexibility in your ankles. A lot of people don't have the proper flexibility for a low bar back squat, and they lean forward too far. They get a lot of forward lean. A lot of people don't have good hip and ankle mobility, period, so their squats are shit. So you don't want your butt to wink. You don't want that tuck under. And if you're going for a high bar back squat, a lot of people get that butt wink because they're staying so upright and they go so low, but they don't have that ankle mobility. So they end up rounding their lower back and hurting their lower back. What can we make if we have small pain in shoulder from 3 months? What can we make? I mean, what can you do? You should get that checked out. You should get that checked out by a physician. I'm going to say that first. And for me, I practice yoga regularly. So if you are planning on doing stuff on your own, I personally do yoga and mobility work to keep my shoulders in check regularly, so I don't get injured in the first place. But an injury could be any number of things I'm not going to diagnose over the interwebs, but yoga and corrective exercise, strengthening the posterior rotator cuff is great when it's healthy. You don't want to do a lot of strength training unless you're under guidance if you have injuries and tears and stuff like that, which you don't know yet. If you've had shoulder pain for 3 months, you should go get that looked at. Mrs. Jamal 87, I know I am a fat ass and I know what I need to do. Okay. I'm a member and I have all the resources to get things done. I just have no discipline. You create that. Post up in the group. Keep posting up in the group. There you go. You're posting up. You're putting it out there. The more you put it out there, you hold yourself accountable. If you actually put that out into the universe and you use the Facebook group and the community and stuff in swolenormousx or anywhere, like if you make it known. That's why people use Instagram and social media to their advantage when they're getting in shape. They share their journey because then they're holding themselves accountable by what they're posting. They don't want to be full of shit. Oh, I told thousands of people I'm going to get in shape. I told thousands of people I'm going to get in shape and now I'm not going to do it and I'm just going to sit on my ass. Then you're a hypocrite. Then you're just full of shit. And no one wants to feel like they're full of shit and be that out there with it. So when you say something that I'm going to do it, you end up doing it. I can find fruit and veggies and lean meats anywhere. What's your opinion on the best way for cutting and bulking at the same time diet-wise that you don't? You're not going to cut and bulk at the same time. Two completely different things. You're not going to cut and bulk at the same time. Stop trying to do that. Stop this whole bullshit. If you can even do a recomp and you can like slowly transform your body slowly, it's very, very micromanaging and it's very, very tedious. And you have to be very, very advanced with your nutrition and your training. Like you have to know what's going on. You can't be a beginner just getting into it. If you're trying to cut and bulk at the same time, it's not going to happen. That's not how your body works. When you're in caloric surplus, you are going to be putting on muscle. And if you're in a minute surplus, you'll be putting on minimal body fat. But if you're gaining weight, you're going to gain some body fat with it. You're not just going to gain and shred at the same time. It's not Dragon Ball Z. So you're not just going to always stay lean. If you're trying to put on size, just don't, if you require, let's say you require 2,500 calories or 3,000 calories to bulk, to actually put on size, that's a surplus for you. Let's say that's 500 more than your body needs, for example. If you're eating 4,000 or 5,000, you're going to put on more body fat. You're just getting extra energy and your body's going to put it somewhere. So I'm not saying anything's impossible. Some people can stay relatively lean, but a lot of it is just visual. Someone can look like they're staying lean or look like they're getting leaner, but they're not really getting leaner. They're not really losing body fat. They're not really cutting. Water retention, where people store their fat. Some people store it more in their midsection. You've seen some people have more lean areas than others. When you look at someone and they say they're 10% body fat, they might not look at where they're storing their fat. Everyone's got different distribution of fat cells. Everyone's got different locations where they might look smoother. They might be retaining more water in certain places. Not everyone's the same physique wise. Some people have a thinner waist genetically. Some people just have a smaller waist. So they might look like they have a better physique than they really do. They might look bigger than someone else just because it's a visual aesthetic that makes their waist look tinier. It makes their muscles look bigger in relation to their waist, but they're not carrying more muscle mass. So there's a lot of these visual, I guess, tricks that can be played on our eyes. And then when you start taking the actual data, it might not explain exactly the same thing. So you have to separate the two. Good dumbbell back exercises, dumbbell rows, back flies. Do you have any cravings? Do you ever have heavy cravings after finishing a meal? And if so, how do you get past those cravings? Cravings for what? If it's after a meal, I'm full. If I want something sweet, I'll have some fruit. I love watermelon. Go ham on that shit. I lift at home with dumbbells and a bench. Is there a substitute exercise with dumbbells I can do instead of pull-ups? No, there is no substitute for pull-ups because pull-ups is a body weight exercise where your body is the resistance. So there's no substitute. There might be something that may work similar exercise. Like you can do floor cobras. Floor cobras are nothing like pull-ups, but it'll work important muscles if you're not adding those already. So it's not a pull-up, but it's similar. If you lift at home, just install a pull-up bar. Like get one of those that drill into the sides of the door. And there you go. You got a pull-up bar. I would do floor cobra. You don't need dumbbells though. You could do it just body weight. Floor cobra is fantastic. Cupcake for life. I agree. That's probably what's going to happen. It seems like that's what the leaks have said in terms of the plot. I don't want to say it in case anyone else doesn't want to know. Pied Piper on YouTube. Do you have any tips for creating an efficient at-home gym? A gym membership is not in my budget, but I would like to upgrade my current area. Well, thank you. A gym membership is not in your budget, but you're going to create a home gym. So you're going to be spending money. So a home gym isn't necessarily cheap. You're just paying more money up front, whereas a gym membership would be monthly, which isn't that expensive in many cases. So it depends on how you're thinking of a home gym. So an efficient home gym isn't necessarily a cheap home gym. Are you asking for an inexpensive home gym? Because an efficient home gym isn't a cheap home gym. A really good home gym has a squat rack, has a power rack, and has a couple, and it might not be the cheapest. So a cheap home gym, you get a bench and some dumbbells. It'll still cost you a few $100s. I mean, unless you get something cheap on Craigslist, but then you're at the whim of what you have to find. What are my thoughts on prolonged fasting? What do you mean by prolonged fasting? I think 24 or 48 hours is plenty. I don't think anyone needs to do more. I'm not going to give my thoughts on it just in case someone does or does not want to do it. I don't think it's necessarily unhealthy. I don't know how regular you would do a long fast. I like to train enough to not want to go without food for more than a day, if ever. It's not necessarily required to be healthy. It's just an evolutionary mechanism. Your body is designed to go without food. It doesn't mean... So that's like the difference. That's what we're still figuring out, what's actually healthy. It's like, okay, just because our body is designed or able to go without food for a couple days, is it good for our body to go without food for a couple days? You'll hear about autophagy and your body breaks down cells. Okay, well, your body does that a lot anyway. Is that required to be healthier longer? We don't know. We haven't done that for 100 years and done like a longitudinal study where we can see, oh, when you do that regularly, you live longer. So just because our body is designed to do something a certain way doesn't mean that it's the optimal way to expose. Like, you don't have to expose your body to a prolonged fast to survive. That's a mechanism so your body has a decreased chance of dying, so it can reproduce and populate the species. We just have a lot of abundance of food right now, but we have the capacity to go without food. How do I balance cutting and keeping my metabolism burning hot? That's not how your metabolism works. That's just a misnomer of a term. You're not burning calories. Energy releases heat, but your metabolism's fine. How do you balance cutting? Just don't cut too much. You don't need drastic cuts. Your metabolism will be just fine. Hey, it's River. Staying on track during vacation is mindset. Don't view a vacation as an excuse to eat shit food and lay around doing nothing. I agree. It just depends on what people do their vacation for. Tips for hip mobility? To do it. These are vague. What's a tips for hip mobility? I do yoga. I mean, what do you mean? You have a question about it? What's a tip? I don't know what you know. I don't know what you know about hip mobility. Tips for hip mobility? It's a good idea. Do it. Do your yoga. What are your go-to yoga positions? All of them. Which ones you found success in? All of them. All of them. Do them. Modify if you need to. Go through all of them. Don't get favorite positions. Don't get favorite poses. Just fucking do them. Do all of them. You need all of them. And you'll find the ones that are right for you. Do all of them. In a post-apocalyptic world, would you eat people to keep your gains? I would eat people to survive. Sure. Keep my gains. In a post-apocalyptic world, I don't think my gains are important. I've told people before I would try human meat. Why not? I think everyone's short-sighted. Oh my God, I'd never eat a human. I'd try it if someone already had it prepared. I'd be like, oh, this is human. I'd be like, fucking interesting. If it was safe, I'd try it. Would you? We've talked about this before on the podcast. Obviously, completely theoretical. Who here would try human meat? Would you try human meat? Would you try human meat? Don't fucking lie. Don't lie. Would you try human meat? Would you? Oh, I got it. And now it's gonna get quiet. Now it's gonna get quiet. Would you try human meat? Eat pano, lift pano. What's that? I do 48 hours and 24 hours and eat breakfast. Is that about the fasting thing? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Some yoga positions can feel better, but if you are truly in a flow, you shouldn't be focusing on favorite. I don't like using that word favorite because it gets you doing something more. I will say that for yoga, I like to do flows that focus more on my hips. I just get very, very tight. Hips are always a good thing to work on. I do deep squats. I try not to sit too much. I try to do things in a deep squat position. You know, it's just the more you can be completely mobile, the more you can be going through full joint range of motion. or at least, pushing your body's mobility limits and exercising what your body can do is important. Just sitting in a full squat, heels down, you can put a towel or a book under your heels until you get more mobility, but working on your ankle mobility and your hip mobility, just like in a deep squat position, is meat's meat. If you're dying, no thanks. No thanks. I don't think I would. Only if it's vegan, grass-fed human meat. Ooh, those are tough to come by. That's a delicacy. Just don't eat the brain. You'll be fine. So I've heard. From all my human meat research. I guess that's a yes for me. I'd have to think way longer about it. No, you wouldn't. If you were hungry enough and it would be either eating a piece of human meat or dying, you would fucking eat it. Your survival instincts are much stronger than right now. Ew. Right now you're sitting in your fucking ivory tower, sitting in America or a well-off country watching some bearded dude on a podcast on your phone, right? You're streaming it live. We're interacting across the fucking world talking about eating human meat. You're not really taking the question seriously. Why should you? Nothing's going to happen right now. Well, I mean, something could, but no one's going to serve you and be like, hey, chicken, instead of chicken from the sea, it's going to be gains from the land. Gains from the land. Maybe that'll be my first supplement, human protein. Oh shit, can you imagine? What if we get to the point with genetics where we can get stem cells and we can grow human meat? Like we already can, right? Grow human cells. Why can't we turn that into human muscle and human meat, powder it up, and sell it as a human protein supplement? Call it Swole Pro. Yeah. Call it Swole. Yeah, that would be my first. If I was going to make a supplement, because I'm so stringent on all this extra stuff that people pump into their bodies, if I were to make a supplement, it would be human protein. I'd be the first person to carry human protein in stock. I'd probably have to have like my company in the Caribbean or something. Some international waters. No extradition. Panama or some shit. Brainstorming, fam. Brainstorming. If any of you have any connections to some good human protein, you know where to find me. Human Pro. Oh, yeah. Swole Pro coming 2021. Ooh, I got to get to work. The sourcing is going to be a little bit tough. I want it to be fair trade. Fair trade's important. I want to make sure that the hunters are taken care of. Or the gatherers, what do you want to call them? Yeah. Fair trade. Fair trade human protein. I feel like they've already done that in history. I feel like that's already been done, unfortunately. Would you eat the penis if that's all that's left? Fuck, man. Now you're pushing it. Oliver, now you're pushing it. He turns off his AC for these streams so he gets hot. Why do you never wear a shirt? Because I don't have to. First off, that's why I don't wear a shirt, because I don't have to. Why would I wear a shirt? I work out, and I don't feel like wearing a shirt. I'm not saying I'm the most fit person in the world. I just don't feel like wearing a shirt. We started doing the show. I first started doing the podcast on the porch outside. And when I started the podcast a couple years ago, it was like April, May. And then it got really fucking hot because I was doing it at 12 noon every day. So you can imagine how that got a little bit uncomfortable quick. I was sweating during the show. No good. And then I just stopped wearing a shirt. Fuck it. And also I turn off the air so I don't have any like air noise. Microphones are sensitive and stuff. And I'm sure I can edit some of it out, and no, it's cool. I just turn the air off and turn it back on. But yeah, I'm getting hot. I get hot. And then it became pinching your nips, and it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Just not going to wear it. I'm not going to wear it anymore. It's hot down here in Florida. I'm drinking coffee. I'm sweating. Just don't lie about the ingredients. How could I lie about the ingredients? Human protein. Hey, human protein supplement. Nothing to lie about. It'll just be a white container in black letters, like Arial font, basic font, Times New Roman. Human protein. That's it. Powered by Swolenormous. Would I eat the penis if that's all that's left? Probably. For survival? Why not? Why not? You're telling me I'm going to eat a fucking human dick to survive. I'm not sure if that's very nutritious. I never thought about it. Rob, are there less douchey people living in the South than the North? No. People in at least South Florida, people suck. There are a lot of shitty people. I think there's a lot of shitty people everywhere. But you don't get the Southern hospitality. This is like an international cartel zone. South Florida is just transient. South Florida is just everyone from everywhere else. Everyone that got tired of cold weather, everywhere else, they moved down here. Other areas of Florida are different. You know, more mid-northern, you get different types of people. West Coast is different than the East Coast. Until you actually live down here for a long time, you realize that, oh, there's like South Florida can be broken up into 50 distinct areas. There are a billion different little cities and areas in Florida that are completely unique to themselves, completely different cultures and stuff. It's like New York City. Only hotter. What country would that even be legal? Human protein? I don't know. I don't think any country. Well, who knows? Maybe Saudi Arabia or some shit. I don't know. We're not going to do it. No one's doing it. I hope no one's doing it. When I lived in Orlando, people were so rude. I think it's similar there. Orlando is extremely crowded. Extremely crowded. And the Wi-Fi sucks in Orlando. I think you all remember that. Wi-Fi blows. Can't stream. I'll be there in June probably for a little bit. Forget when. But probably won't be doing any live. The podcast won't be live, I'm sure. Well, the podcast is going to be different when I travel. I'm going to do some different like vlog podcast type stuff. Could be some different things. But I remember I couldn't stream when I went there because the internet was so poor. But I'll do some live streams and stuff. I'll pop on Instagram and Facebook and stuff a little bit. But in terms of the podcast, I can't do a multi-stream. Fuck. Could barely even upload shit. I moved to West Palm Beach after high school. Best time of my life, but hot as fuck. Hot as fuck. And it's May 19th. Oof. Oof. It's getting to summer. It's getting there. Dude, I enjoy your rants. Thanks for posting solid info. No doubt. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ooh, we could use prisoners. That's a good idea. Prisoners. He's actually completely naked. Shh. Oh, I like that. Human protein. For humans, by humans, made of humans. Damn straight. How many days a week would you recommend yoga? Depends on the type of yoga. I would start doing it, whatever you can do consistently. I wouldn't worry about doing it every day if you might like miss days here and there, because then it's just going to be like a knock against, I should have done it today. I missed today. Start doing it 2 to 3 days a week. And if you're consistent, you want to add more, add more. If you're doing intense yoga, like power yoga, you got to be careful with that, combining it with strength training, because you can get really fatigued and overworked. But there's certain kinds of yoga like yin yoga. It's a very restorative type of yoga where you're holding poses for long extended periods of time. And that's really great to combine with strength training because it's very inhibitory. It's a great lengthening. It allows you to really get into that deep connective tissue that gets really tight. Gets really tight and locked up from heavy strength training. Oh shit. What yoga movements or positions help increase hip mobility? That's what I meant. A lot of them. A lot of what hip mobility is, because the thing is, one of the misconceptions is that if you need hip mobility, just go right for the hips. You need to loosen up your thoracic spine. You need to loosen up your hamstrings, like 2 joint muscles that cross the hip and the knee. You got to loosen up your rectus femoris and your quads, your ankles. A lot of that translates into poor hip mobility. So that's why all yoga positions are great. Any kind of yoga is going to be great for hip mobility. And it's just because the whole body is a system. If you loosen up above the hip and below the hip, you're going to help the hip. And if you help the hip, you're also going to loosen up above and below. So it's all one big system. So that's what I was explaining. There really isn't a move. Oh, this one, yeah, you can say this one is a hip more, but the rest of your body is still attached to anything. Even if you're in a pigeon pose, okay, well, your external rotation of the femur and this, okay, that's great for the glutes and stuff, but it's also for the lower back. It's also for the thoracic spine. It's also for the lower body. It's kind of everything. So it's very hard to dissect a position and be like, this is a great one for the hip. I mean, they're all good and you need to progress into them. You can't just jump on the ground. I guess you could, but you want to build into some of these positions so you can get deeper. Why do you wear sunglasses? Because I have myoswolitis. And if I have photoreceptors, it's a genetic mutation. I have these receptors in my eyes that they're photoreceptors. So it's kind of like a plant, only I don't create energy. I kind of create energy, but my muscles swell. So when light hits my eyes, I can control the growth of my muscles. So in order to regulate how fast I build muscle, I wear glasses to reflect the light. Otherwise, I'll just get too fucking huge. Swolenormous. I mean, so yeah, there's that. Bye. What do you think about acupuncture and Chinese medicine? I answered this on the Ask Papa Swolio. I haven't done it. I don't know. I have no experience with acupuncture. It was a question related to chiropractors, so I answered based on some general information. But it's kind of like chiropractors are doing all sorts of stuff. So it depends on what the chiropractor is doing. I don't know if a lot of chiropractors are doing like the archaic way of being a chiropractor. A lot of chiropractors are doing manual muscle stuff, and they're kind of like outside of what the classic chiropractor model was like originally, like back when it was created. So it depends. You can be a medical doctor and focus more on nutrition. You just don't learn that in medical school, but you have MDs that are focused on, you can specialize in anything. You could have a business with anything. So it depends on what the person is certified for, educated, what they promote. So chiropractors kind of cover a lot of different things nowadays. Depends on what the person does for their business. But acupuncture, I haven't done it. So I can look at it from through the window and be like, well, that's kind of fucking weird sticking needles in, but there's a lot of stuff we don't know. And I'm sure some people like it, some people don't. I have never done it, so I really can't speak on it. Literally, it would just be an opinion like, that's fucking weird. You're sticking needles in. Does that really work? I guess it could. I don't really have an opinion on it that's valuable to you, unfortunately. How about that? How many of you have had acupuncture? Did you like it, or do you think it's a placebo effect? What do you guys think about it? We got the opinion of a lot of people watching live. Have you ever done acupuncture? Have you done acupuncture or chiropractic stuff? Do you think that alignment shit works? Do you like it? What are your thoughts on either of those? We can kind of bring that Ask Papa Swolio question here. What are your thoughts on all that? Is it better, easier to get skinny and then swole? That's not really how the body works. When you first start lifting, just focus on building muscle. You'll trim fat over time. Keep your calories somewhat around maintenance level and start lifting. You have to just get started. Don't worry about doing what first. You want to start getting more active. You want to learn how to train properly. You want to get into a consistent lifting and yoga routine. Even meditation would be fantastic. If you've checked out my content on the elimination diet, that's a great place to start with your nutrition. Just focus on the habits first, and you can always fine tune and start measuring calories and shit later. And elimination is going to help you figure out the quality of your foods that you should be focusing on, and then you can worry about what style of eating you want to pursue or how many calories you're consuming. You're not going to have to worry about going over in calories when you're doing an elimination. It's just about the focus on what foods you're consuming and learning how to prepare food better and get everything organized, build those habits. Yoga outside is great. I mean, I like yoga outside, but it's so fucking hot. I'll probably be doing, for those of you that are in Swolenormous X, I'll probably be doing, I probably have a bunch of outdoor stuff that will be coming this year. I want to add a lot more things. I got some surprises for you all, but it's just hot. It's so fucking hot to go outside here. I know it's hot everywhere in the summer for the most part, but in Florida, it's different. It's different kind of hot when it's so fucking humid. You just go out and start dripping. That's why I don't wear a shirt. I'm just tired of sweating all the time. I only do chiropractic for the free massage through insurance. Ooh, free massage. Let's see. Did legs yesterday and supersetted front. Okay, that's not a question. Supersetted front squats and lunges. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I worry about acupuncture due to dirty needles. Ew, didn't even think about that. They throw those out. They look like they just get trashed. And once you poke a needle in, it's not gonna poke. It's gonna get dull once you stick it through the skin. I'm sure they just trash them. It seems like they're not really, you don't wash those. They look like quills. Like I said, I don't know anything about it. I am currently getting acupuncture treatment for chronic osteoarthritis pain since I refuse to take anti-inflammatory meds or pain meds. Are you paying really close attention to what you're consuming for your food? Have you done any of those anti-inflammatory diets for autoimmune issues? What are some good stretches before deadlifting? Deep squats, hip mobility circuits are great. Just listing them off, you're not gonna know what the hell I'm talking about. There are definitely some good ones. A bunch of those are their ex-members. The Swollen Sevens, the latest ones I've added, a couple of them are really good for hips. Really good. Any kind of good hip mobility where you're doing internal, external rotation, you're going through all the range of motion, activating the glutes, just getting everything, the blood flowing and the body temperature up and loosening up that area as a warm-up. You want to make it more of a dynamic stretch. I will give you that info. Those specifics, because if you're doing more static holds, it can inhibit the muscles a little bit before deadlifting. It's more important to get the body warmed up and to take it through full range of motion rather than do like inhibitory stretches before you're doing a powerful lift like that. Delish on the recovery diet. You're currently on the recovery diet. What's that? All right, so let's see. On YouTube, brand new YouTube video, that bouncing ball video. Go check it out if you haven't. It'll make you laugh on a Sunday. We have the Game of Thrones series finale tonight. If you watch it, we're all crossing our fingers, hoping it ends without a natural disaster, which is doubtful, but that's that. So YouTube video, the brand new article on the Gain Train blog on swolenormousx.com for the elimination diet. Go check that out. And a new video on Instagram as well, a new IGTV video, which is fire. So got a lot of stuff for you to check out in addition to a bunch of great questions so far here on the Q&Anus. And remember on YouTube, if you want to watch live, second channel, Daily Swole Podcast, where I'm streaming every single day on YouTube. So it's a second channel, Daily Swole Podcast. The acupuncture uses new needles for every session. They can use the same, what is that? Wittivitae? Never mind. I guess that's some word that I've never heard. Gotcha. All right. New needles. So no worries there, unless I don't use new. Sorry, oh, you're in an elimination diet. Good. Good stuff. Well, you can see from these questions, some of you have good experience. The human brain is very, very strong. The placebo effect with some of these things is very, very strong. But if you're actively pursuing help and you're actively pursuing more natural forms of recovery, you're usually in a good position. You're usually going to, be doing better for your body long term. You're not be pounding tons of anti-inflammatory meds. You're sucking down Motrin and shit like that. So at least you're pursuing it. You got to find what works best for you. So I tease, I joke, but if you have experience with it and you like it, that's fine. You can do what you need to do or do what you want to do what you feel is optimal. Mike, do I think John is fireproof? That's a good one. We shall see. Do you think that she's going to, I think there's going to be a little twist somewhere. I think there's going to be a twist. I have an idea of one twist that I'd be so pissed if they didn't do it like this. Oh, there's so much opportunity to there's not much time. There's not enough time to really pull these things out. They didn't leave enough. If you had 7, 8. If you had 4 more episodes, you'd have more time to just fucking write, to do cool shit. I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed with how it went. I don't know. I'm holding some of my judgments until the final thing, so you kind of see it in its entirety. But man, it's not. It's sad. It's sad with how fucking great it was. It was so good. It was so good. Sorry, George. It's not our fault. We didn't write it. Sorry. Anyway, so we'll see what happens tonight, but the show will go on. The Papa Swolio show will go on, and going to be crushing some good shit this week. We're going to talk more about, we'll talk more about nutrition this week. We'll talk more about the elimination. We'll talk more about, managing your food intake and some different strategies and some different approaches you can take. So we'll be doing some more, we'll take some more questions, of course, during the upcoming shows. No spoilers. I haven't seen tonight's episode yet, so I wouldn't know what to tell you. If you haven't seen any of the episodes, you fucking start. Earmuffs. No spoilers. If you don't want spoilers for shows like this, you just stay off the internet, period. Just stay offline. Don't go looking at things because people are going to talk about stuff. Anyway, we've already talked about it. We've already discussed it. We'll see what happens. We shall all see. Please do a final review of Game of Thrones so we can rant. Well, maybe I'll do a video. We'll see. Got another video coming tomorrow on YouTube anyway, but we'll see what happens tonight. If it's really rage worthy, maybe I'll let it fly. Maybe I'll let something else fly. I almost feel like I have enough content almost for like multiple uploads every day, but I've been trying to do one a day at least. So again, one a day on YouTube, good shit. Staying consistent with that. How many calories do I eat a day? I don't know. I don't count my calories, but I'm consistent with my intake. I'm not sure how many calories I'm consuming. What do you do when you feel like you're getting sick? Do you have any rituals to keep yourself well? I rarely get sick, if ever, and that's not to push off the question. I really don't get sick. I rarely, maybe once a year, I'll get like a headache. I'll drink tons of water. I'll honestly, if ever I felt like I felt congested or I have a headache, I'll make a pack of bacon. I'll make bacon. I'll eat some bacon. It goes away. I'll drink. You can make tea with honey, lemon, and ginger if it's your throat. I mean, I put some Celtic sea salt in my water. I take some magnesium usually during the day for muscles and for hydration. There's a couple things that I do, but I rarely get sick. I mean, there's nothing, I don't really change what I do. If I have to rest, I rest, but I still eat the same. I hydrate like crazy. I'm really glad I don't have a good answer for you. The big thing is if you're getting sick, why are you getting sick? What are you doing regularly that's going to keep you from getting sick? And just you carry that through. If you get sick, it's just a matter of time. Your body's going to fight it off. There's really not much you can do. You're not going to make it go faster if you're just staying consistent with the rest of the stuff that you're doing, giving your body the fluids and the nutrients that it needs. Your body will do the rest. There's really only so much you can do. You have to kind of wade through it. There's an illusion that you can speed up the process and heal faster. It's going to run its course. Your body's going to handle it. Do I believe in flu shots? I almost died one day because of the flu. I haven't gotten mine. I don't remember if I've ever gotten one, or if I get them. I don't go and get them. Do I believe in them? I believe they exist. I've had the flu in the past, like a long time ago. Hey, Papa. Hey, fam. Missed the live today. Is Knowledge Cock swollen today? We had some good swinging. We swang some good Knowledge Cock. We talked Game of Thrones. We talked some stuff. We talked some shit. Working in the medical field, you see and hear all kinds of things and how people get disease transfers. I'm good. Oh, on the acupuncture. I don't think anyone's trading needles, but it's all good. It's all good. Well, fam, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Remember to go check out my YouTube channel. Check out the latest drop today. We're a little light on the questions today. A little bit quiet on the Swoleverse, but it's all good. Some good shit. Everyone's anxious to fucking make some gains this week? What are your plans for this week? Anything big coming up? I guess it's Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people travel is that next weekend? A lot of people travel. A lot of people go around. But, we're still business as usual, making sick fucking gains. A lot of people are going to be looking for the shortcuts. A lot of people are going to be falling out of their fitness. A lot of people are going to be getting lazy and slacking and not putting in the effort. It's to be expected. I'm expecting it. But we're also doing some amazing shit inside Swolenormous X. So if you want to look up the blog, check out the latest articles, check out the podcast, go to swolenormousx.com and check us out over there. We are going to be going, we got an accountability meeting tomorrow. Those of you that are Swolenormous X members, accountability meeting tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, going over what's the release for this week, what we're talking about in the masterclass, and all the things that we're going to be doing this week in X and what we're working on. So make sure you check that out tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, for those of you that are Swolenormous X members, live in the private Facebook group. Just started doing power cleans. Any advice? Start super, super light. Don't put any weight on the bar. Take videos and videos and videos and videos and watch videos and repeat and check your form and check your form and correct your form and check your form before you even start dreaming about putting any weight on that bar. If anything, you put like a 10-pounder bumper plates on the side and just practice and practice and practice. It's not about the weight. It's about the form. It's about the form. Don't get roped into fucking putting weight on there. It's a lot of technique, and it's very high risk if you don't do it right. So be careful. And why are you doing a power clean? What's important to you about a power clean? Just curious. You should always have a reason for why you're doing something and manage the risk that way. So I'll see you next time. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 1109 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Peace, McGee's. Deuce Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio, out.